Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here, and I am glad to be here. What is it that you believe in so strongly that others see it in everything that you do? They see it by how you invest your time, your energy, your attention, and your resources. A negative spin on the same question might be, what is it that you say you believe in, but they can't tell it by where you invest your time, energy, attention, and resources? What I call tiers: time, energy, attention, resources. So where should you invest in? What is worthy of your investment, of your time, energy, attention, and resources? You might say it's my profession or my business, where I work, what I do. And yes, it is. We spend so much time there. It is worthy of that. But is it worthy for the right reason? Is it worthy for lifestyle reasons? Is it worthy for image reasons? Is it truly the greatest priority that maybe impacts everything else? I don't know. You'll have to ask yourself that question. What about your family, your spouse? What about yourself? What about your own self, your own leadership development, your own personal health and well-being? What about your spirituality, education? These are all things that are important to invest in, that are worthy of our time, right? Time, energy, attention, and resources. But when you start looking at it that way, and not just looking at it through a financial set of eyes, but you start looking at it through the eyes of what's really most important in terms of priority, it's unlike any of the investments that you're familiar with. Growth does not come with time. Growth comes with choices. And the choices you make you. Yes and no lead in opposite directions and determine the course of our lives. So how do you go around it? You can do what I've done. One of the things that's been so powerful for me is I take the time at least once a year to sit down and make a list. And I make a list of those things that matter most to me. And I look at it. I don't exclude financial by any stretch of the imagination, but I include the other things as well. And I look at it through the eyes of the quadrants, and I say, okay, what about my family, my health, my values and beliefs, my spirituality, my unique ability? What about the experiences that I want to have? And what about education and how valuable those are, and reputation, and then alliances and networks? And what about from a standpoint of being someone that makes sure that in my life I'm going to create more than I consume? I'm going to be of service to humanity because I know it brings me happiness and balance. And then finally, financial. Certainly, I want to create enough, more than enough, for our family and for others to go around. So I make that list. Now, once you've made that list, I can make you a promise. If it's like what's happened to me and others that I've worked with that have made the list, you will immediately feel a surge of clarity. And that surge of clarity gives you an enormous power, enormous comfort. Your body will be filled with serotonin and dopamine automatically because it's a sense of gratitude. When you start to look at things balance-wise, it is a sense of gratitude. So you make that list, and then here's what you do. Go through that list and ask yourself, if I could only pick one thing and one thing only to focus on, say, for the next 3 years, and I was going to zero in on that one thing, what would it be? That's difficult, I know, but have the guts to circle it. Circle that one thing and say, okay, I'm going to devote myself to this. Now, did you pick the right thing? That's the question. So the next question is that if I pick this one thing and over the next 3 years, what's it going to do to drive everything else? What's the likelihood that everything else that was on my list would also elevate and also grow at the same time? And if that's one thing if you answer yes to all of that, then that one thing is the elevator. It's the elevator. It's going to elevate everything else, the driver. But if it's not, do it again. Find that one thing that's a driver. And you'll find at the root of that one thing is gratitude. Because you can't find the driver if you're driving it from scarcity. I'm going to drive to make more money. That's driving from scarcity. But if you drive it from the standpoint of I'm going to strengthen myself or my family or my wife, and I'm going to focus in on that because the ripple effect of that's going to affect everything else. That's based upon abundance or based upon gratitude. And gratitude is not just one of the 88 keys on the piano of your life that you occasionally pluck out. Gratitude is a major chord in a compelling melody that needs to be played continuously throughout our lives. So make the list. Make the list. Thank you for spending time with me this week. I look forward to talking to you next week. Have a meaningful week. Bye-bye.